there's any change. A World Health Organization has given Malawi so much bills. IMF has given Malawi so much bills. Reserve Bank has released 6 billion. But the question is, who are running this money? Who is going to be answerable when time comes to answer what the money has done? Because here, Mr. Peter Mutharika and his government, they are not duly elected. They don't have the power to execute these funds, knowing that they could never be an interim government, as the people are complaining that it can be, because there is a sitting president there. That is where we use Kamuzuism here. Kamuzuism is where you realize that there's no constitution that mandates me to run the country, because now we are changing from the old system to the new system. Same thing. This is our first time for Malawi elections to be challenged and won in the court of law. This is our first time. So this is a crisis that now we needed to use the charisma of the president Peter Mutharika, if he was one, to say, I understand, I've lost the case, we have lost the case, but Malawi must move ahead. What do we do? Let me call all stakeholders. When it's like this, what should we do? Then as a country together, we could create a table of dialogue whereby all the grievances of all parties should be put on the table. At the end of the day, a new electoral commission must be appointed. But here, it looks like it's a family thing now. What the husband of the house wants is what the whole family will do. And that is not how government runs, people. We deny that this happened 56 years ago. But with the generation of today, who has opened eyes, we don't agree to this. Therefore, Muvi Wachilungamo liberated Malawi in this way. Either the Constitutional Court, the 5 judges, should come up with an appointment of an emergency electoral commission to conduct these elections. By this, that emergency electoral commission must call DPP, must call Tonsi Alliance, we must come together and say, can we verify what has gone wrong? Then you verify the voters' roll, know the number of the people that have verified their names, and know that this is the number of people that are going to vote. After that, then a day must be arranged. And in this case, the executive don't have power. Parliament don't have power. Only the judiciary is the one that has got power through Constitutional Court. Constitutional Court, I repeat. The people that knows what are the rules of the country. Fellow citizens, we have been fooled for long. We have been adamant for long. We have been in dilemma for long. And our nation is falling down in our own eyes, because we are afraid of that no. Wherever Mr. Peter Mutharika is now, he's also afraid, because he don't have too much power, the authority, because the court, in other words, the court derailed or what can I say, castrated him. He don't have the power to execute. The executive powers of the presidents are not with him anymore, because the court said so. So he cannot appoint, and we cannot give him that authority. Therefore, we demand that. Don't waste your time going to court or what. Let's just go back to the Constitutional Court and tell them that this is a crisis. And when it's a crisis, that means it's an emergency, because we don't have a duly elected government and we don't have a running government. Therefore, since there are new elections coming and there are many questions on this electoral commission that is there, there's a lot of rumors that there's additional names and subtraction of names and whatever. So there is a need for an emergency framework that will temporarily hold the position of electoral commission. That body should oversee all this, and then you set a day elections must be done. That day, when elections are done, the winner is declared. Then we go back to the original document of constitution, so that the president know that his powers are retained, he can execute the presidential powers and run the country. Because this thing that we are doing here, we are delaying development. We are killing our country. And we are creating animosity. Because now, as I speak to you, President Peter Mutharika cannot meet Lazarus Chakwera. As I speak to you, DPP cannot be with Tonsi Alliance. But you like to ask politicians that you want one Malawi. How are you going to create one Malawi when you are already, you cannot sit on one table and move forward or create a framework that will govern this country properly? That thing needs to be corrected. And there should be one group. We of Muvi Wachilungamo demand that Constitutional Court, under the leadership of the Chief Justice, must create an emergency electoral commission temporary to run these elections. That should be independent from any political party, independent from any allegiance of anybody. Even if we could apply or hire international electoral commission, I don't have a problem. Even if we ask African Union to come and run these elections, electoral body, no problem. As long as after the elections, no one will stand up and complain that I was cheated. As long as after elections, no one will be able to say these elections were rigged. We have a country to run, gentlemen. We have a country to move on, people. We have citizens that are waiting for a government that is functional. We can't be playing this politics again and again for a year. It's just too much. That is what we wanted to say. So we give it to NGOs in Malawi. We give it to political parties in Malawi. We give it to you torchbearers, Mr. Peter Mutharika. We give you Mr. Saulos Chilima, Mr. Lazarus Chakwera, and all political party leaders. This is the moment of going back to the drawing table and see that we are maturely liberating this country. We have played games a lot, but nothing's happened to the country. Yet, we are now in dilemma, not knowing what's going on. And we don't know who to ask. What we are doing is that we expect President Peter Mutharika to appoint. How can he appoint when he's a player? These elections are not normal elections. These elections are not constitutional elections. These are emergency elections because something went wrong with our constitution. Now, we cannot follow the same constitution when these are not recorded in there or listed. That's why we need a Julie type of temporary electoral commission. A Julie type, an emergency one. Fellow citizens, I wanted to talk to you on that. Just to add the tips. Because of what is going on, we don't see the fruits of multi-party democracy anymore. We do like we are living back in the one-party state. Because now there's war between political parties. In this case, DPP and the Tonsi Alliance, they are in war. As I speak to you, now, Member of Parliament of UTM for Likwenu Machinga, he is on the run. DPP Minister Brighton Saka, with millions of money, is hiring people to kill her. Is that democracy? Is that what we fought as democracy? And all of you are challenging, putting on suits, telling people that we are democrats. What is democracy is this? That you should follow somebody and kill him or kill her. Why? It's all because the nonsenses that we are doing here, we are failing to open our eyes. We of Muvi Wachilungamo demand for all this rubbish to go to an end. There must be a Julie type of emergency electoral commission appointed by the judiciary because they know the law. Then these people neutrally should come back and take over, make operations, go through and give both these two parties that this is our verification papers, these are the numbers that people have verified, and now we are ready for election. Then you can say the date can be created by Constitutional Court, not Parliament, that the day is 3 July. 3 July was the best day, not 23 June. 23 July is the best day. Why? I want to tell you this. In 150 days' time, Malawi automatically has no president. Mr. Peter Mutharika ceased to be a president of the republic. That is the best because by this time, Malawi police, Malawi defense force, and all security apparatuses will be neutral. This is the best time for Malawians to vote. But we cannot go to vote after all these circumstances and go and vote when Mr. Peter Mutharika still extinguish some power. We are going to be crying time and again. Now, Muvi Wachilungamo is feeling sorry because this is not an estate of one person. This is not a farm of a family. This is not a shop of one person or a businessman. This is a country of 18 million people. There is a need. There is great need for us to be sane enough. Think for this country. As I wrote my letter about Africa, that people of Africa must think Africa first. I tell you again, I challenge you Malawians. Politicians, business people, stakeholders, you should think Malawi first before you think of whatever your interests are. This is Commander-in-Chief of Muvi Wachilungamo. Today, we wanted to liberate Malawi that way. It's up to you, but let's work together. We start remaking